With a vision to improve quality of startup ecosystem.
Techbooze Consultancy Services, it's a 360-degree, consultancy service provider,
He helps provide companies startup plans,
providing them with all the facilities like the legal facilities for all the plans, DPRs.
NewsX India A-list proudly recognizes Subhashis for excellence in startups.
Hello and welcome to NewsX. I'm Priyanka Sharma and you're watching NewsX India A-list. Joining me on the broadcast today is Subhashis, CEO at Techbooze Consultancy Services. Subhashis, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Priyanka.
Tell us about Techbooze Consultancy Services. What is it all about?
Actually, Techbooze Consultancy Services, it's a 360-degree, consultancy service provider. We are moreover into the startup consultancy, you can say. Okay. Like we are headquartered in India, and we have our bases in 53 other nations throughout the globe. Moreover, till now we have funded more over 200 to 250 startups across the globe. We provide from A to Z, like initial throughout the funding process, like from the bootstrapping to providing them with all the facilities, like the legal facilities for all the plans, DPRs, whatever is required from the initial boundaries to the exit boundary, everything we provide to them, to all the startups out there.
Okay.
And that's how we proceed.
How does Techbooze Consultancy help a startup raise a funding for themselves, and what is Techbooze Consultancy Services providing that others don't?
Yeah, there's a very defined process out there in our company. How can a startup avail the funding, and what are the processes which they have to follow? So initially, when any startup come to us, they have to come to us through our website. Over there, they can submit all the startup details, as well as their pitch deck, as well as the plans. Okay, the plans like the business plan, the financial plan, the marketing plan, everything of the startup. Because once they submit the plans into our forum, we name it as this investors forum. And in that investors forum, once the startups they submit all their plans, those plans are being transferred to the respective department, and there they filter it out. Once they filter it out, they create a summarized plan, which is we tell is a summarized startup plan. So once they make that summarized startup plan, they send it to the investors forum in UK. There's a forum named UNILEF, United Nations International Legislative for Investors Forum. Over there, it's a pool of around 419 investors worldwide. Like if you name all the big names, Equa, Capital, Tiger Global, Excel Partners, all are there into the UNILEF, currency to UNILEF. So we submit all the summarized plans to the UNILEF, to the investors forum. Once we submit it over there, it's their turn now. That if they find any startup, like valuable or okay or good to start, they let us know. They ping us back. Once they ping us back, we connect to the respective startup. We tell them that your startup has been selected by the forum. So now we have to proceed further. Then we make the respective plans, whatever is asked by the respective investors in order to receive that funding. So in that thorough process, everything goes on. It takes around 2 to 3 months of time for all the process to go on. And later after that, the startup, they receive the funding. Like just before the funding is processed, the startup and we make the startup and the investors sit together in front of each other. They are the startup founders, they pitch in front of the investors. It may be in our country, whether in our country, or else if it is in some other country, we take it to that place. We make them pitch in front of the investors. So once that is done, the final yes from the investor is it actually means that the fund has been received by the startup. So within a month's time, all the clearing all the due diligence processes by the Reserve Bank of India, the money is being transferred to the startup. It's an equity funding process. So we don't go for the debt funding. We only deal with the equity funding process.
Now, tell us about your journey of becoming the CEO of Techbooze, and what does your role entail in the company?
Sure. And actually, Techbooze was not Techbooze earlier. This was a UK-based firm, and the name of the company was Dreamers Education. earlier, and I used to be a salesman in that company. I used to work in the sales. Thereafter, they have changed the name into Techbooze Private Limited in the year 2016, and they made it as a real estate funding company, real estate funding company. Thereafter, in 2017 and or 18, I saw that because of the Startup India campaign, I saw that booming potential in the startups. So I wanted to explore this segment of the business, the startup segment. So, but when I talked with the company, they didn't agree with my vision and all. So slowly in 2019, along with the board members, some of the board members, we raised some equity funding and we took this company over from the UK-based firm. And because the Techbooze name was in their name, the trademark was with them, so we made it Techbooze Consultancy Services in 2018 end. So from there on, the journey started and of this Techbooze Consultancy Services. But the journey from a salesperson to the CEO, it took me 6 years, 5 to 6 years of journey. It was a exponential growth. I made it to the company. And as you have asked, what is my role to the company? I will say it's like a baby for me. Techbooze will always be a baby for me because it started in my hands, and now whatever it is, it's a 1.56 valuated firm. So whatever it is right now, it is in still in my hands only. So it's like a baby for me. I take care of everything from A to Z of this company. Even though I work as a CEO, my roles are limited within the company boundaries, but I take care of everything. Let it be finance, let it be operations, management, sales, everything I look after as a CEO. So that's how my role is involved in this company.
What do you have to say about the current scenario of the startup ecosystem in India as well as globally, especially amid the COVID pandemic? How can a startup benefit from such a situation?
Actually, I'll say because of this, this COVID pandemic effect, the startup segment is bleeding. I'll say it's a very bad scenario is there out there. The investors are fearing to invest in this country as well as in any startups out there across the globe because there is an uncertainty of returns, business returns. See, any investor who will come up to any startup, they are looking for a return as well as a growth. So once they don't see both the things, once they are uncertain about both the things, they will not invest. So this is hampering the startup ecosystem across the globe, not only in this country. But the Startup India campaign by the government has taken a few good efforts into taking care of the startup ecosystem in this country, as well as a lot of help from the RBI sector also. Due diligence works has become so easy for us. Any startup who wants to raise funding from an abroad investor for a foreign investors, it is a very easy process. It doesn't take earlier. It used to take 6 months, 7 months to bring any foreign funds to this country. Now it's a matter of 10 days to 15 days of time. Any startup can bring any amount of fund from foreign funds to this country, in terms of a equity investment. So things have become very much easy. But due to this COVID pandemic effect, a lot of startups have failed. As well as per the NASSCOM report, a lot of startups have halted their operations. They are not operating right now. So that is a very saddening part of the startup ecosystem. How we are trying to be a part of this, we are trying to help the startups out with that. We are pumping out good amount of funds. We are convincing the investors sitting abroad that no, this company has got the potential. If you can fund it right now, if you can fill it up right now, it will go miles long. So we are acting as a bridge between these two things, between the startups, halted startups, as well as the investors. We are acting as a bridge. We are creating the way for both the parties to come along and do business in a good way. Until the investors come in, the business will not prosper, the startup ecosystem will not prosper. So this exchange of financial exchange or growth exchange, whatever you say, it is very much necessary. For that, we are helping out as much as possible. And due to this COVID pandemic, startups are not having, there are lack of funds, shortage of funds. So that's why we are helping out in such a way so that we don't keep any financial liability for them. They can come to us, seek our help. Once they receive funds, they can pay us.
All right. What could be your advice to young entrepreneurs? Is there a right age to start a startup? What is the eligibility to create a successful startup? And what type of startup should one start in this pandemic?
Yeah, I'll say like as Elon Musk, you all know, he said that like there is no age to start a business.
Hmm.
You can start a business at any age. Startup is like a new business. If you want to start a new business, if you want to start with a chai ki tapri, that is also a startup. You can start with something, any business that you want. It's called a startup. The basic definition of startup.
Hmm.
The only difference between a normal business and a startup is that normal business contains only profitability. What a startup contains is profitability and scalability. जिसका whatever it should not be only profitable, it should be scalable also. It should have a vision to grow more and more. Normal business, like kirana ke dukan, chai ki tapri, those are like profitable, but they have only one shop into the entire place. They are famous in that place, but no one knows beyond that place. So the scalability is zero in that case. So what I will suggest any young entrepreneurs, old entrepreneurs, whoever it is who want to start a business out there, I'll say look for these two things: profitability and scalability. Don't look for only one thing. Your business should not contain only one profitable sector. You should look for the scalable sector also. And I'll say think big, think different. That's a tagline of our company, Techbooze. That think big, think different. Why I will say think big, think different? Because innovation is very much important in startup scenario. Investors will not invest in something which is already going into the market. If you cannot bring innovation, it should not be only tech. Innovation doesn't comply just with tech. Innovation can be of any sector. In the management sector, into the operations sector, you try to bring any kind of innovation, a new thing, a very which has not been used earlier. To bring something up into the business sector, it will boom. No need to worry about that. And third part is that what I suggest to the young entrepreneurs out there is that whenever you start a business, you don't start it like कि चलो आज शुरू कर दिए, within 1 year it will be $1 billion business. Everything starts small. You plan accordingly. You plan everything from A to Z. In case you require help,
Yeah.
companies like us are there to help you out for free in the beginning. We are trying to provide all kind of sessions to the startup. I am a mentor in Startup India also.
Yeah.
So I try to provide mentorship to startups, a lot of startup founders and co-founders for free. The concern is that they should not be only focused about the profitability कि एक साल में मेरा business को 300 million करना है, 200 million करना है. They should focus on this both the things. The idea should be stable enough. Verify your idea with the mentors out there. If you don't find any mentors out there, come to us. We are there to help you.
Well, that's a wrap from our end. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you, Priyanka. And I wish all the startup founders also and all those young minds out there who want to start something new, all the best for you. And let's change this country.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.